In February 2025, Councilwoman Jan Dubauskas filed a criminal complaint with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, alleging that Scottsdale Mayor Borowksy had violated laws in her duty as the mayor. 2 investigators were assigned to interview 3 Scottsdale City Council members, Barry Graham, Jan Dubauskas, and Adam Kwasman. The reason for the interviews was to determine if there was enough evidence to warrant an investigation into the mayor for possible indictment. Was there any evidence to prove, as they alleged, that the mayor had violated the law? In the end, the county investigators wrote a final report stating, quote, "It was determined in each interview that no type of threat for action either in favor or against the parking garage structure has taken place by any involved party. The review found no violation of either Arizona criminal law statutes or violation of the City of Scottsdale Charter. Therefore, this case will be considered closed." The following audio recording on February 27, 2025, was between Barry Graham and 2 investigators from the County Attorney's Office.
This is Detective Dan Peckham, badge number 752, Maricopa County Attorney's Office, joined by
Detective Michael Lane, 838, County Attorney's Office.
And then Barry, if you could just give your name for the for the recording, I appreciate it.
Councilman Barry Graham, City of Scottsdale. We're here together at a little after 1 p.m. on February 27th, 2025.
So what we're doing is basically just gathering as much information especially from the 3 of you, because the 3 of you are the ones that brought things forward. I think through Rachel Mitchell, the county attorney. So
I think Jan did, and then then I was reached out to, and I think Adam was reached out to. I did not report this, but I think it was Jan, but I was aware of Jan's concerns and her intention to report it, so I had comfort knowing that it was going to be reported and knowledge of that. So does the mayor know that the 3 of us are participating in this? No, unless you've told her.
Mr. Graham admits that the 3 council members colluded in the criminal complaint that was filed against the mayor in February 2025.
This parking structure in Old Town, the way I see it, is the fulfillment of what the voters told us to do and what they authorized us to sell bonds to. The ballot didn't specify exactly where the parking structure should be.
Right.
So the ballot language said Old Town parking facility structures. It pluralized it. The vote happened in 2019, but we didn't decide the site until 2024.
Councilman Graham just admitted to the investigators that the location for the parking garage was chosen by the council in 2024, not the voters in the 2019 bond election, as he has preached in public repeatedly for the last 6 months. Was he lying then, or is he lying now?
So here we were approaching January 28th, and the meeting was on January 24th. We get I found out that the item was removed from the agenda inexplicably. Just item removed. In the January 28th meeting, we held the meeting, and I commented on the record about the deferral, the inexplicable deferral, and I commented that the project was very important. The next day is a Wednesday, and the mayor calls me around noon. She expressed a strong distaste for the project, that Old Town deserves something progressive. That was a term she used 3 times. I reminded her the parking structure was voter approved, that council had spent substantial time on site selection.
Much of Mr. Graham's testimony refers to a meeting that was held on February 5th between the mayor, the acting city manager, as well as Councilwoman Dubauskas and David Hovey Jr. Mr. Graham did not attend the meeting, and his testimony is based on hearsay.
On February 4th, which was a Tuesday, without warning, I received an invitation on Outlook from her chief of staff, Terrence Thornton, requesting a meeting for the 5th, Wednesday, from 11 to noon. And it invited her, Terrence, Greg Caton, the city manager, and then Jeff Walter, the assistant city manager. I wrote back in an email, unfortunately, I won't be able to attend in person. I can attend virtually if a Teams link can be set up. Slightly, I didn't hear back. The next day, Wednesday, at around before 11 a.m., I speak with Terrence, who tells me that they invited Councilwoman Dubauskas, and just to avoid open meeting law issues, that I didn't have to attend. After the conversation I had with her on January 29th, I worked strictly with Terrence.
With Terrence,
Yeah.
our chief of staff.
Yeah.
Right. It didn't seem like, from what I've heard, like everyone had a common goal in mind to make good for the residents of Scottsdale.
But the system's not designed for people to. In my mind, the system's not designed for people to work together necessarily. It's designed for basically like, if and only if you guys can agree, can you do this? Like, it's
Right.
designed to be unwieldy.
Sure.
So, but I mean, it was weird that Ortega received a lot of donations from Hovey, and then he was chanting these exact same phrases as Borowksy.
Yeah.
And I always found that bizarre.
And that's kind of like what the other people,
Yeah.
the other two that we've spoken to said, said the same
It's
thing.
bizarre.
He claims it is bizarre for developers to contribute to candidates running for mayor or city council during an election. He knows it happens all the time.
She has an idea with city staff sitting there, from what I heard from Jan, because I was invited to the meeting too, but I couldn't go, saying things like, "You're going to hire this company." When the city is going to hire this company to do this project. That to me is I've never seen that before. To me, that's the departure from the norm.
They're making promises already.
Yes.
Mr. Graham knows that all contracts must be approved by a majority of the city council. The mayor cannot force the city manager to change a contract. That premise is absurd, and the city manager clearly understands that. So why did he lie? Was he desperate to convince the investigators that the mayor violated a law?
And put yourself in staff's position. It's like, he's going to be like, you don't tell me who to hire. Like, we have a procurement process for that. Yeah. And now I'm like, here I am sitting here, feeling pressure from my boss to, tip the scales in the procurement process to get her to favor this person. And my concern about that is that I want to protect my staff from improper influence. Because I look at it's like somebody like the city manager, it's like, if he goes and reports this, whether he feels like it's a violation or maybe it's an on the line foul or something, and that gets out, that could affect his rehire prospects. So instead of reporting it, and exposing it for the public good, somebody like that who may just feel like they're being improperly pressured would just resign and find employment elsewhere. Say, I got to get out of a toxic situation. And so I don't want him to feel pressured to. Sure. I don't want him to feel pressured to do something improper for a boss, and I don't want him to feel pressured to leave the organization because he doesn't feel like he has an outlet to share his observations.
Right.
So.
Okay.
And here's the thing, though. She's in a position of authority over city staff, over the city manager, because she hires and fires him.
Okay.
She is the only person that can fire him and hire him and promote him, or not promote him, but adjust his compensation. So that is where you enter a different realm, because it's like a teacher to a student almost. It's like it's a manager to a supervisee. So she's basically saying, I have a different idea for this.
And this is where it gets really crazy. Mr. Graham tells investigators that the mayor can hire or fire the city manager, or can set his pay. So why did he lie? He knows that once again it takes 4 votes on the council to make those decisions.
And somebody who could potentially influence the procurement process feels obligated or improperly influenced or pressured.
And the bidder's in the room.
And he's sitting right there. Yeah. Now where does that put the city manager? Now the city manager feels like he has to go and carry out the idea that she wanted. Put yourself in his shoes. He's going to be like, well, if I read the tea leaves correctly, we want to make sure that she's influencing me to make sure that he gets the bid, wins the bid. You could argue that theoretically. That's where it departs from anything I've ever seen before.
So then he makes the leap that Hovey, being a max donor to the mayor's campaign, is somehow looking for a contract in exchange for his campaign contributions.
I mean, everybody knows that they max donated to her. I've heard from multiple sources, unrelated sources, that they've been close for a long time. So there could be kind of a familial or, friendship, closeness.
Okay.
That could be, motivation.
No one who knows Mr. Hovey's background, as the owner and developer of the huge Optima projects in Scottsdale, would actually believe that he wanted a contract to design and build a small parking garage. He has never been a bidder on any projects for the city of Scottsdale, and to contend that he would be interested in this contract is absurd.
And I don't know if you have any documentation of anything that she has said, made statements, either written or in correspondence, to where you would think it pushes it a certain direction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not an idea of I feel like this shouldn't have happened. That's fine to have a feeling.
Yeah.
Like it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
But where does it come to a point where it's actually something that's provable in court?
How uncommon or common is it for a favorable donor to then get contracts or things? Is it?
Here's the thing. I have no idea who we pick for bidders. It is supposed to be whole and separate from the city council.
Which this process was, up until the point of that final...
Of her attempted intervention,
yeah.
Typically, I never have any knowledge about who bids, who gets a contract, until it arrives on the, packet of council. I've never even questioned... The only time I ever question a bid is if I feel like the bid is high, and I'm like, how many bids did we get? Are we getting any offers from people? That's the only time I ever question a bid. So,
okay.
I haven't really spoken. I haven't had an in-depth conversation with the mayor since January 29th.
29th, okay. Well, I think what I was getting at was just confirming that since that date, that you haven't gotten any further communications from her of her disdain or threatening or anything like that. Okay.
No, there's been there's been nuanced, subtle stuff, but it's
no emails or anything blaring that.
No, she
alarm bells.
She just raised her voice at me on that day.
Do you have anything else you want to add before I go off record here?
What's your email that I can?
I'm going to give you a business card.
In the end, the county investigators wrote a final report. The investigation's final report states that the county attorney's office found no violations of either Arizona criminal law statutes or violation of the City of Scottsdale charter. If you had known Councilman Graham's true character when you voted for him in 2022, would you still have done it?